Here we go! The episode begins with Daddy Lannister melting down a big ol' sword while the song from the Red Wedding plays. I can't wait for Peter Dinklage to kill this guy. We cut to Handsome Man in armor holding a sword that must be made from that other sword because Daddy Lannister says that he just made it. He says he got the steel for the sword from someone who no longer needed it, so that big sword must have been sexy jawline guys. Daddy Lannister says that the war is over now that the Starks are dead, and he wants Handsome Man in armor to go rule over Casterly Rock. Handsome Man in armor says that he doesn't want to rule Casterly Rock, and then Daddy Lannister reveals that Handsome Man in armor is 40 years old. My God! The man is like a fine wine, but if wine had muscles and a beautiful face, he should not be ruling Casterly Rock. He should be on the cover of 40 and Sexy magazine, which is not a real magazine, but it should be. We cut to Peter Dinklage waiting around outside for the Prince of Dorne, which is the island Poison Lips lives on. A bunch of guys show up, but the prince isn't there. Oh my gosh! All these people are here for Jeffrey's wedding, and Jeffrey dies at his wedding according to that play that young sad girl sees in season 6. Is this the episode that I get to see Jeffrey die? Excuse me, I need to hide my erection. We cut to Dreamy Guy. So that's who Peter Dinklage was looking for. He's in a brothel trying to decide which woman he and Poison Lips are gonna menage a trois with. They pick this red-haired girl, and then Dreamy Guy tells the guy who brought out the women that he's to stay and have sex with them too. This is like when you watch The Price is Right with your uncle, and when the car rolls out with the model, he'd be like, hey, does the sexy lady come with the car too? And you'd be like, no, of course she doesn't. She's a human being. Except in this situation, this guy seems weirdly okay with it. So these four people are about to have sex with each other when Dreamy Guy hears that song from the Red Wedding again. This song must be the #1 hit on the radio right now because that's the only song you hear in King's Landing. Dreamy Guy finds the man singing and knows he's a Lannister immediately. Dreamy Guy hates the Lannisters. He disses these guys, and when one of them goes to grab his sword, Dreamy Guy stabs his hand. Peter Dinklage walks in, and Dreamy Guy and Poison Lips start making out harder than two teens on prom night. Peter Dinklage convinces Dreamy Guy to talk to him in private, and they go outside. Peter Dinklage thinks Dreamy Guy is here for reasons other than just attending an annoying king's wedding. Dreamy Guy says that his sister married the Targaryen that ran away with Papa Stark's sister, and that love triangle started a huge war where Daddy Lannister killed Dreamy Guy's nephew and niece, and Shaq raped and killed Dreamy Guy's sister, which is why Dreamy Guy fights for Peter Dinklage against Shaq in episode 8 of this season. Dreamy Guy says he's here to repay his debt, and then he walks away. So I know Jeffrey dies from poison at his wedding. And Dreamy Guy's literally dating a woman named Poison Lips, so they probably killed Jeffrey, right? No, that's not true. Calm Lady killed Jeffrey. She says so in season 7. I forget so much stuff. We cut to Legolas Queen hanging out on a rock petting one of her dragons. Then her other two dragons drop a dead goat on the rock and the dragons start going to town on it. Legolas Queen tells them to calm down and this dragon turns and roars at her. I'm on the dragon side here. Don't interrupt a guy when he's trying to eat. Legolas Queen walks over to an enormous army. Whenever I see Legolas Queen, she either looks homeless or has an army of like 300,000 guys. Horny Dude and Leather Boy are competing to see who can hold a sword out in front of them longer to decide who gets to ride next to Legolas Queen. Legolas Queen shows up and tells them they have to ride in the back because they're acting like little kids. We cut to Red-Haired Queen looking sadder than Garfield on a Monday. Peter Dinklage's girlfriend is trying to get her to eat, but she refuses. Now this is definitely the most confusing thing that I've ever seen on this show. Not wanting to eat food? I'm lost. Peter Dinklage shows up and asks for a moment alone with his wife, and he's talking about Red-Haired Queen. Finally, I get to see this bizarre relationship. Red-Haired Queen is super sad because she just found out about her mom and brother dying. Peter Dinklage tries to cheer her up, but this isn't a real relationship, so of course it doesn't work. Why are these two married? Peter Dinklage has a girlfriend. And the Starks are all dead now, so why don't they just kill Red-Haired Queen too? Unless, I guess, Peter Dinklage could be protecting Red-Haired Queen by being married to her? Is that right? Peter Dinklage walks into his room and his girlfriend tries to seduce him. He's all stressed out because Jeffrey hates him, Red-Haired Queen hates him, and Dreamy Guy hates him. But I'll tell you one person who doesn't hate him, his girlfriend. And she's sticking his finger right in her coochie. Peter Dinklage says it's not a good time, and his girlfriend gets mad and yells at him that he doesn't want her around anymore. No, Peter Dinklage! Don't let your marriage get in the way of your girlfriend. She storms out of the room and this one girl is just standing behind a pillar eavesdropping. We cut to Handsome Man in armor getting his golden hand. He and Short-Haired Queen start bickering like an old married couple of siblings. Short-Haired Queen is upset too. Nobody is happy in this episode. She's mad because she's supposed to marry Curly-Haired Dude, and Handsome Man in armor tries to calm her down with some good old-fashioned sister kissing. But Short-Haired Queen walks away. She tells him that he was gone for too long and things have changed. Namely, he has one less hand to do sex things with her. Then the eavesdropper shows up. Short-Haired Queen is gonna get Peter Dinklage's girlfriend killed. Or maybe Daddy Lannister kills her and that's why Peter Dinklage kills him. We cut to Savage Lady and Redbeard talking about their upcoming attack on the wall. Savage Lady lies and says that she killed Bastard King? I think that's what she's saying. Then a group of these Star Trek looking guys show up. Ironhead from episode 9 is here, and he's creepy as all heck. Apparently, Mance Rayder told the Star Trek guys to join with Redbeard's group. Also, in case they weren't already weird enough, the Star Trek guys are cannibals. We cut to Bastard King being interrogated by Tiny Eyes and Chainmail Guy. Apparently, a guy named Half Hand told Bastard King to kill him, and now Tiny Eyes is mad because Bastard King listened to him. And then, to make matters worse, Bastard King admits to sleeping with Savage Lady and breaking his vows. The punishment for breaking your vows in the Night's Watch is to be executed. Luckily, Old Blind Man, one of the best characters in this whole show, is here to stick up for Bastard King. He says that Bastard King won't be executed. Bastard King tells them that the Wildlings have a huge army and they're marching to the wall, which is the big fight we see in episode 9. We cut to Calm Woman preparing Margarine for the wedding. Whoa, Margarine is marrying Jeffrey? Margarine tells Calm Woman that she hates Jeffrey because, you know, she's a human person, and then Tall Woman shows up. Calm Woman is like, wow, you're a tall woman. Margarine and Tall Woman walk together, and Tall Woman tells her about the smoke demon that killed Short King. Margarine tells her that Jeffrey is their king now, and then they walk past a statue of Jeffrey. What the heck? Jeffrey hasn't done anything. He doesn't deserve a statue. I want a statue! We cut to Handsome Man in Armor briefing Jeffrey on the wedding security. Jeffrey says that he's not expecting any trouble. But guess what, dummy? Calm Woman's gonna poison ya! Jeffrey reads through a book about all the great Kingsguards and their deeds, and Handsome Man in Armor's page is basically blank. Jeffrey rubs it in Handsome Man in Armor's face. I wish Handsome Man in Armor would take a page out of Peter Dinklage's book and slap Jeffrey with his golden hand. We cut to Leatherboy giving Legolas Queen a rose. He tells her that she needs to know the land if she wants to conquer it, so he tells her what each flower is used for. Leatherboy is as smooth as leather. Then Legolas Queen's army stops marching. Legolas Queen goes to see what's going on and finds a small dead girl hung on a cross. It's a warning from the people whose city she's about to attack. So Legolas Queen is marching on a place called Marine, which allows slavery. So I'm pretty sure it's the same place that she's in season 5, where the Sons of the Harpy are. We cut to Tall Woman trying to convince Handsome Man in Armor to let Red-Haired Queen free and protect her. But then Red-Haired Queen starts walking away and someone follows her. She reaches a dead end and a drunk guy sneaks up on her. But he's nice. Apparently, Red-Haired Queen saved his life at some point, and he tries to repay her by giving her a necklace. I have no idea what that guy's deal is, but he seems like a pretty nice guy. Which probably means he's going to be a bad guy. We cut to the Hound and Young Sad Girl riding together on the same horse. Young Sad Girl wants her own horse, and the Hound says that he'll buy her one with the reward money from turning Young Sad Girl into her dead aunt. They come upon a barn and see two men walk out to pee. Young Sad Girl recognizes one of the guys and says that he killed her friend. Young Sad Girl has a photographic memory for people she wants to kill. The peeing man has Young Sad Girl's sword. He's holding 2 needles right now. Young Sad Girl decides to walk right up to the barn, and someone opens the door, so the Hound and her just walk right in. So this looks like it's some sort of inn. The Hound and Young Sad Girl sit down and see a woman being groped. I can't wait for the Hound to kill these guys. Then the peeing man recognizes the Hound and sits with him and Young Sad Girl. The peeing man and his group of friends apparently just go town to town, stealing money and raping women on their way back to King's Landing. He invites the Hound to join them to reunite with the king, and the Hound says, F the king. And by F, I don't mean finger the king or frighten the king. I mean a word that would get this video demonetized. I was kind of shaky on the Hound last episode, but right now he's right back on my good side. He tells the peeing man to bring him some food, and the peeing man says he'll trade food for Young Sad Girl. The Hound shotguns an entire pint of whatever's in this cup, hopefully chocolate milk, and says again that he wants food. They stare at each other for a second, and then the peeing man makes a move, and the Hound throws the table on him. The Hound proceeds to kill like 8 guys, and then he gets pinned to the ground. So, being the Hound, he takes this guy's face and jams it into a sword a few times. As he's getting up, the peeing man tries to sneak up on him, but Young Sad Girl slices his hamstrings and takes her sword back. She stands over the peeing man and says some lines that he must have said to her friend, because right now they don't make a lot of sense. The peeing man realizes who she is right before Young Sad Girl stabs him all the way through the neck. We see the Hound riding away on a horse, and Young Sad Girl has her own horse too, and then the episode ends. Was that Young Sad Girl's first time killing somebody? Because if so, it was the first of many. I just love that these two are riding around killing bad guys like Batman and Robin. It's such an unusual pair, like it's like a grizzly bear being friends with a raccoon. Also, super bummed that the wedding didn't happen. I just want to see Jeffrey die so bad. This episode was pretty good though. Everybody was so angsty, and I love watching angsty people. That's why Degrassi is such a good show. Nothing too huge happened this episode, but it was a good episode, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. As you can tell, I'm in a different place today. My office was being used tonight, so I had to come to my apartment, so this is my apartment. Let's reach into this Simpsons bowl to find out which episode I'm going to watch next. Season 5. Episode 5. Season 3. Episode 4. Season 4, Episode 6. Season 6, Episode 8. And last but not least, Season 4, Episode 2. So those are the options for which episode I should watch next. There should be a poll right here. Little box, go ahead and click on that and vote for which episode you'd like me to watch next. Here's a graphic to show you which episodes I've already seen to help you make your decision. Some of you have been really nice to me and have supported me on Patreon, so it's time to do the shoutouts. I'm gonna try to burn through these this week because my bed is right behind me and I can't wait to get in that sucker. So let's do this. Seth Sladen. Sladen, not Slayton, not Clayton, like in Tarzan, but Sladen. You don't slate, you slay. You slay me, Seth, with your generosity. Thank you so much for your support. Fiona Liddell. Fiona. Was that a good Shrek accent? I am 2 for 2 on animated movie references right now. Anyways, Fiona, that's the best I can do with your name. Thank you so much for the support. Con Osden. Con, you feel the love tonight? Lion King, anybody? I am nailing these animated movies. This is impressive. I'm impressing myself. Thank you so much for the support, Con. Emily A. Gabrish. I can't do an animated movie off this one. I'm so sorry, Emily. Gabrish, though. You're not money rich, but you're Gabrish. Bad. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the support, Emily. Rebecca Lane. Rebecca Lane sounds like the name of a bowling alley. Hi, welcome to Rebecca Lane. We have one lane. I'm Rebecca. You should do that. You should open up a bowling alley. Thank you so much for the support, Rebecca. If you want to support me on Patreon, there is a link in the description below, and I'm going to put a button at the end of the video. Go ahead and click on that. Check out the Patreon page. If you guys really missed me last week and you're like, oh, I wish Steve would never miss another week of uploading, hey, let's raise some money and I'll make this my full-time job. Okay, bye.